3, 2, 1, let's go. What is good, you guys? Welcome back, and this is a different little format. This is going to be an artifact tier list breakdown. And now, I know I got 2 other tier list breakdown videos on my channel, and this might be a little bit different. If you've seen the other 2 videos, you're probably looking at this one like, what the hell is going on here? The reason this one is different is because of 2 reasons. One, when it comes to the artifact, I like to go into deep breakdown about it. I like to go over it and go into details about which artifacts do what and stuff like that, and what they're good on and who they're good on. And also, the website I use to do the tier list does not actually have an up-to-date artifact tier list. So I took it out of my time to build one for you guys. So we're going to build this live on live stream together. I'm recording this for YouTube, so might be a little long. Want to go grab your snacks, grab a drink, stick around, whatever you got to do. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably going to be the best artifact video that you can watch, no matter where you're watching it at. This is probably going to be the best one out there. But with no further ado, let's hop into it. So first things first, let me move my camera out the way to go right there, so you guys can see. Wait, make myself a little bit smaller. Right there. Just so you guys can see that there is actually, right there, 34 artifacts. There's 34 of them big boys. 34 of them. It's a lot of artifacts. A lot. So with that being said, we want to get you the best of the best. So starting off, we're gonna go with the worst artifacts in the game first. So let me come over here. Let me go to folders, I guess, right? Would it be in downloads? Would it be in downloads? Would it be in pictures? Maybe downloads. Maybe downloads. I got a folder with all of them. Where's my folder? I don't know, see my folder. I just downloaded it. Setting over here. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I got it right there. Why you're not giving it to me here? What's up? Shut. It's in downloads. Is it because it's a zip tied folder? Hold up. It might be because it's a zip folder. Give me 1 sec. Here we go. Got it. I got it. We got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I could probably pull one from here. If I go to pictures, to here. Yes. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Got it, got it, got it. Get it, got it, good. Okay. Let's get it, let's go. All set, ready to go. Let's go. Sorry for the problems. Okay, first things first. Let's start with the worst artifacts. Worst artifacts in the game. Now, just because a artifact is going to be in this category does not mean that the artifact is not useful. It just means that they have the lowest usage rate out of the artifacts that are available. the lowest artifacts are going to be the spy drone. Probably, actually, is the spy drone the worst, I would say? It might be. Yeah, I think it is. I'm gonna say this one is one of the worst ones. The Guardians of the Globe bracelet. It's probably the worst one in the game. It is probably the worst artifact in the game. Now, the reasoning it is the worst artifact in the game, in my opinion, is because when a hero uses this artifact, and this is new, this is updated, this is them also trying to make it better. When a hero is wearing this artifact, they acquire the original Guardians of the Globe tag. And this will increase their own attack power by 3%, their own defense by 3%, and their own critical damage by 2% for each original Guardian of the Globe and Guardian of the Globe member present on the team. Now, this artifact might be able to move up. Simply because of the reasoning that when you have it on now, it gives you that effect. But what hurts this artifact is that you need to be using GDA members. That's what hurts you. And there's not many GDA characters that are that good. Because, I'm going to show you this right now. Some of the best GDA characters in the game are actually not Guardian of the Globe. Donald is not a Guardian of the Globe. He's a Cecil Secret, and Cecil is not Guardian of the Globe either. So that's two of the best GDA members in the game, not part of the Guardian of the Globe. So that artifact won't even trigger for them. Then some of the other two best, in my opinion, who do have the tag is Robot and Machine. What's it called? Shakesmith. So at least those two do have the tag, but you're probably never going to use Immortal, Monster Girl, and these other guys. So it hurts the value of that artifact for sure. Definitely hurts the value of that artifact for sure. Now, the fact that it gives you the effect, the fact that it gives you the title, makes me think maybe I can move it here, and maybe there's a different one that can move here. And that could also be this one. Decreases the critical, this is the GDA Spy Drone. Decreases the critical hit chance of ranged enemies by 11% for each Guardian of the Globe or original Guardian of the Globe, I think, ally present on the team. So this one really comes down to having them on the team. And this only counters ranged enemies. So if you're going against a team of Thrag, General Kree, Conquest, Anissa, and Dula or Blue Sumark, this doesn't even do anything. It literally doesn't even do anything. So for that reasoning, I would say this could be the worst one. It's between these two for sure for the worst one. Why did we keep putting it here? I want it to pop up over here so you guys can see. Okay. Where is it? Looking for it. There we go. I'll say that's the worst one. I would actually say that's the worst one. That's the worst one in my opinion. Now, I would love to know you guys' input. You guys can tell me what you think, but I think those are two worst ones. Next, it's going to be, surprise, surprise, another GTA one. Now, this one I actually like a little bit. Oh no, this isn't GTA. No, never mind. This wrong one. It's the body and hand. There we go. Increases the critical chance by 15% for each Guardian of the Globe on the team. Now, this one, I'ma say, if you put it on a Donald and you put him in a team with, let's say, a Monster Girl, a Shapesmith, and a Robot, this one actually could slap. TTS is off at the moment. This one actually could slap. This one actually could help. This one definitely could help. Once again, it comes down to the right situation and the right team. So, I'm not sure on that one yet. Thinking maybe C tier or D tier for that one. But F is going to be like very situational. So I'll save that one. Decreases. This is against humans. You're not going to go against much humans. And it's really a really bad artifact. I mean, the stats it does give is pretty good though. 20% critical damage, attack. It's just what it does is so bad. It literally just does nothing at that point. So I'm gonna add this one to the F tier category. I am gonna add this one to the F tier category. Flax and spray gun. So far we got Flax and spray gun. These are the F tier. This is what's going to make up the F tier from what it looks like. Let me see if I can maybe throw one more in here, but I don't think so. I think that is where I would stop for F tier. Because every other one in here is pretty good. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it off for F tier. Now for D tier. D tier is basically going to be artifacts that are extremely situational, because you have to run specific teams for them to work. What's good? So we're going to start off with the one that we just said, body enhancement. Body enhancement in the right team comp could be beneficial, but in the wrong team comp, it is absolutely freaking useless. Which is insane to say, because body enhancement was one of the first artifacts that a lot of people used to praise. So I'm going to put it there for right now. What other artifacts can we do? And once again, body enhancement, like we just said, increases 15% chance for each member of the Guardian of the Globe or OG Guardian. TTS is off at the moment. Now we're talking D tier. Yeah, I would say this one. The ranged heroes present in the team receive a 15% boost equal to 10 to 15% of the wielder's defense. Now, this one is one that I think is slept on. This one isn't that bad. Now, the things it gives to the person wearing it are pretty bad, but it's not a bad artifact in my opinion. I would say you can maybe argue to put this one above it, but because of the limitation, I think I would put the defense barrier above. So I'm going to put Flax and defense barrier above the GDA body enhancement. I'm actually going to put this one above. Put this one here. I think the defense barrier might be better. So yeah. Now, what do we got? We got Marching Spear. We got piece. This one is actually, I don't know. I might put that in C probably. It's not bad. It's just really, it's really consistent. That's the thing with these artifacts. Some of them aren't bad. They're just inconsistent. Like in certain situations, they're just not going to be useful. I am thinking for D tier. This one's not bad. I actually like that one a lot. That one's very useful on certain people. But I guess for the boost it gives, it is very simple. So we can probably throw it in D tier. But I don't think it's that bad of an artifact, though, to be honest. You know what? Because it's so situational, I'm gonna throw Mauler cells in here. I'm gonna throw Mauler cells in D tier because they're so situational. It only works in a Mauler team. There's really no other point to have those totems, those artifacts on, unless you're running a Mauler team. So for that reason, we're gonna throw them in there. D is gonna be very situational artifacts. So we got this one here. Wait, what the hell? It added it over here. That was not supposed to be over there. It's supposed to be over here. There we go. I think we're gonna put 4 in this category and move on to C. Okay. Now we have C tier. Now C tier is gonna be some of the artifacts that I think are slept on. Doesn't mean they're bad, I just think they're very slept on. I wanna say, I already know, I think I know pretty much all the ones I'm gonna put in here. We're gonna go. We are definitely gonna go Flaxen Stun Drone Device, Trap Device, whatever it's called. I'm gonna go Flaxen Drone Trap. That's what it's called. Now, Flaxen Drone Trap is definitely one that's very slept on, very, very slept on in my opinion. Whenever a hero receives a debuff, it silences the enemy that hit him for 4 seconds, meaning they can't use their ultimates, and decreases their defense by 25% for 4 seconds. This is pretty good. Now, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. The abilities and buffs it gives, though, are pretty bad, but the effect is not bad. Anything that's going to decrease a person's defense, which is one of the most important things to get rid of on somebody, is not bad. That's why I want to put it here, first honorable mention. Then we're going to probably go with this one. Flaxen Anti-Aging Bracelet. What the Flaxen Anti-Aging Bracelet does, it reduces the cooldown, ability cooldowns by 12%. Now, I believe this only applies to their ultimate. I don't believe this applies to their other ones, like their other effects, as in like their other abilities. I don't believe it applies to those. Not 100% sure on that, but I know for a fact it does apply to the ultimates. The HP buff isn't the greatest, but it's not bad. The critical damage boost, critical chance boost is actually pretty good. Energy defense is actually pretty good. So we'll add that in right now. That is going to be bracelet. Bang. There we go. Okay. Now, we also have in the C category probably going to be Flaxen Stun Device. Now, Flaxen Stun Device is a word mumble jumbo. Whenever an enemy receives healing, the device stuns them for 3 seconds and applies electrical damage over time, dealing a total of 250% of the enemy's current HP as damage over 10 seconds. And flying enemies will fall to the ground when the effect is applied to them for 9 seconds. This is like a word jumble of nothing. Basically, what it does is anytime an enemy receives healing, it stuns them for 3 seconds. They're going to take damage over time. The damage they're going to take over time is usually really, really low. And it's going to happen for 10 seconds. This is basically supposed to counter people's healing when people use super heal teams. And it does to a degree, but not to a degree enough that it actually makes the artifact worth it. Plus, the energy attack boost is so mediocre. The critical chance boost is so bad, and the defense overall boost is also so bad. Now, I will say it's not a bad artifact to run on specific teams to really nullify healing, but it doesn't do what it sounds like. It's very underperforming. It's very lackluster. I went super hog wild on this artifact when it first came out, because when I read that description, I was like, oh my god, this is going to fully counter somebody's healing team. And it just doesn't. It does not do what it seems it does. It's very, very underwhelming, very, very mediocre. But it does help against healing teams a little bit, but nowhere as much as you would think for that description of a artifact. You would think that artifact would be a lot more busted than what it is. And then the last artifact that's probably going to go in this category is going to be one of, sadly, the new, thinking between one of the new ones or one of the old ones that have been around for a little while. I'm thinking Healing Band. The Healing Band's pretty good, but I might say Healing Band. I'm thinking between Healing Band or the rescue wristbands. Rescue wristbands. I'll say rescue wristbands. Rescue wristbands aren't bad, but they're very iffy. Whenever an ally drops below 7.5% HP, which is pretty low, the wielder fires a teleport dart that will, teleport the target back to the back line and heals them for 17.5% of their max HP. This can be used 3 times per wave or 3 times per battle. So it's very good in GTA Ops. It's very good in GTA Ops. It actually helps quite a lot in GTA Ops. Keep your team alive. In battle sense, though, it's not the best. Which is why I'm a little torn, because this one, on the other hand, is very good in battle situations, very poor in GTA Ops. So it's very iffy. What this one does is it's basically kind of Robot's heal radius. It's what Robot does when he makes his little heal circle around him. This is basically the same thing. And you can just put it on whoever you want. And this will be a area of effect that heals over time other allies for 30% of the damage they receive, though. So it's based off of damage received instead of just a natural healing thing. And this has a 3-second cooldown. I think the circle lasts for 3 seconds and then it turns off, and then within the next 3 seconds it pops up again. I believe that's how it works. Um, so I'm a little torn. I want to say that the healing band is worse. I want to say the healing band is worse. So we're going to put the healing band here. I think the healing band is big. I think they're both kind of on the same level. I think the healing band performs slightly slower. But what I like, the only thing I like about the healing band that made it iffy for me is the fact that the healing band is 3-second cooldown and it's unlimited, which is pretty nice because it can constantly be triggered, versus the other one can only happen 3 times in a battle and then 3 times per wave. So that's the iffy part, but I do think it's a lot more healing instantly than this one. But that does mean we're going to start the next category off with the wristband. Now, I do think there's going to be a lot of these that end up in B, so I might have to do it this way. But we'll see. Now, another B artifact definitely is going to be this one right here. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Vital Tablet definitely can be B tier. I think I would put Vital Tablet below that one, but Vital Tablet is definitely team situational. If you don't have the right team, Vital Tablet is basically useless. Yeah, let's throw Vital Tablet. What Vital Tablet does is it increases the amount of healing effect by 40%. So for someone like Immortal, Vital Tablet would be pretty cool. For someone like Robot, who sits in his own healing all the time, Vital Tablet would be pretty cool. For someone like Shapesmith, Vital Tablet would be pretty cool. For someone like, who else? For someone like Battle Beast, that has like life leech stuff, like people with life leech abilities, Vital Tablet is pretty cool. The problem is, if you're not getting that constant steady healing, then Vital Tablet is basically rendered useless, and that's the major problem with Vital Tablet. Major problem. And it only gives you a healing effect, it only gives you a heal boost and energy defense boost, so the boosts on it aren't the best. Then in B, you will also have think of that one. I'll say Medkit. It's very simple, very straightforward. Medkit is very simple, very straightforward, but on the right healer, it does make a big difference. It just overall boosts the person's healing effects by 10%. You put this on a Seance Dog, you put this on a Robot, Adam Eve. I would definitely recommend those 3 characters for that artifact. You could technically even put it on Immortal and increase his healing factor by a little bit, but I definitely would say B tier artifact. And I would say the last artifact maybe joining this category. Yeah. I'll say the last artifact joining this category is going to be the Thraxen. No. Is Thrax armor A? Yeah, because that has leader tag. So I'm gonna have to say, oh, yeah, but OB and Hell is really good. But it's a long cooldown. I'm gonna say Obedient Scholar is B. Yeah, but Obedient Scholar could be it. Maybe we do 3 in this category because we have a few left, but they're pretty good. I'm not sure. I'll try to see if I can find one more to put in this category, but The ones that are left are kind of good. This one did receive a nerf, but it's still pretty good. Tough. I'm gonna have to say jetpack then. The jetpack is pretty good, but it's only against ground enemies, so limited. If the wielder is a flyer, they gain a 14% attack boost when attacking grounded enemies. So it's very situational. I probably honestly would move it above these, but damage is usually appreciated more than healing is, but not on my list. I definitely do enjoy healing teams more than I enjoy just pure damage teams. So I'm gonna actually put it below, simply because if you put this on someone like a Thrak, right, it's gonna go crazy. Where is it? There it is. It's gonna go crazy against someone like a Thrak. I mean, on a Thrak. It's gonna go crazy like somebody on somebody like a Thrak, or someone. Is Space Racer considered flying, or is he considered grounded? It comes on. Let me find out. Let me fact check that. He's flying. Okay. So it would go crazy on someone like Space Racer, someone like Thrak. It would. But that would mean that he has to be going against people like Red Rush, Monster Girl, Robot, Donald, people like that. So if you used him in like Downtown Destruction with that artifact, it'll go crazy. You put that artifact on somebody like Universa instead of using GDA Cloak and Device, because let's say you're using GDA Cloak and Device for somebody else, that will go crazy. That's not a bad artifact for her. It's not. You put it on someone like Anissa in Downtown Destruction because you're using Anissa to lower the defense of humans, so you don't really need to use Damien Darkblood on her. You could save Damien Darkblood for another GDA op, and maybe put that one on her to increase her damage output. Hey, not bad. And increasing her damage output is also going to increase how much defense she's reducing. You know, not the worst thing. But you have to once again remember, this is only going to take effect when they are fighting grounded enemies. So when it comes to like arena, you're pretty much barely ever going against grounded enemies because all of the top people fly. So that's what hurts that artifact a lot. But we are getting to A tier. Now A tier, I think I pretty much know what I want to put in A tier. I'm thinking GDA Mines is definitely an A tier. GDA Mines gives a boost to all AoE damage dealt by the wielder for 16% additional damage. Upon launching, also GDA Mines 3 explosives in random directions that deal 120 damage of the wielder's AoE effect as damage. Now this one is pretty freaking good. It's pretty good. The only thing is it has to be on an AoE character, and there's not that many AoE characters that are meta besides Tech Jacket, Space Racer, and Doc Seismic. Those are the only real meta characters that have an AoE other than Thrag. But I definitely would not say to run this on Thrag because there's so much better artifacts you can run on Thrag. But this one would work on Thrag. It would. The same way that the Thraxton Jetpack would work on Thrag as well. They will work on it. Then I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Martians. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna definitely say Martian Spear. I think Martian Spear is actually S. No. Flax and Stun Device, I'll say is A. What Flax and Stun Device does is what they nerf this ability pretty bad, but it still does pretty good damage. If an enemy deals more than 2.5% of your max HP as damage to the wielder in a single hit, then you will deal the same damage back and push them back, stunning them for 3 seconds. This can happen every 10 seconds. Now, they kind of changed it, because the way this used to work was, if they did that much damage, you would send back the same amount of damage they dealt to you, period. It wasn't about if a person did more than 1%, I think it was 1%, if they did more than 1% of your health or something like that. Now it's 2.5. They made it higher. Of your max HP, you would deal that same amount of damage. But before, it was if a person dealt damage to you that was more than that percentage of your health, you would deal the exact amount of damage they dealt to you back to them. So there was like a little exploit you could do where you could put a level 1 character with this artifact, and they would instant kill you, and it would be like a crazy number, like 108,000 damage, and then you would dish that damage back to them, instant killing them. So they nerfed this because of that reason, and it kind of fell off a cliff ever since that reason. That was like the only time it was actually usable, was when that was there. It's still a pretty good artifact. It still is somewhat useful in certain situations. It definitely works. You can put it on anybody, but it definitely works when you have it on the team with someone like, not on that person, but when it is on someone that is on a team with Anissa or Dinosaurus, because of pushback. When they get pushed back, those two characters like to react off of pushbacks. So you would want to have this on someone that is on those two characters' teams. Like if you have somebody that's on a Dino team, you can throw this on them because they're on Dino's team, and Dino is going to react off of this pushing them back. If you have it on someone that's on Nissa team, and Nissa is going to react off of that character being pushed back because of this artifact. Therefore, so yeah, let's add that to A tier. I see it. I actually thought this was. When I first saw this, thought it was War Woman's mace, but then I was like, oh, War Woman's mace doesn't have 2 spikes on it. All right. Obedience Collar, I would say it's going to be A tier 2. Obedience Collar, once every 21 seconds, it applies a confusion, a status effect to a random enemy for 5 seconds. While they are confused, they get a 60% attack boost, meaning their damage is increased by over 50%, and they are on your side for the next 5 seconds. Very simple, very straightforward, pretty good artifact. The biggest problem with this artifact has nothing to do with damage or anything like that. It's simply the fact of 21 seconds. 21 seconds is a long time in this game, and that's a pretty steep cooldown for something that Shapesmith can do in the same amount of time, and Shapesmith can do it to an entire team. You're basically getting one Shapesmith ability very nerfed at a lesser cooldown time. And then last but not least, coming into the A category is probably going to be Battle Hologram. Battle Hologram is one of those abilities that's really good. It's an artifact that's really good, especially if you put it on someone like Volcanica, Agent Spider, someone that gets their ultimates very quick, Dino, people like that. It works very well on those type of characters. If the percentage went up more than 15, like when you got it to level 30, it went higher than 15, I would have said it was really, I would have put it in S tier, but because it's only 15%, it could be better. 15% is still good. Still, I'll take it, but it's not anything broken. It's not insanely broken or anything like that. Now, pairing this artifact with someone like I said, Volcanica, Dinosaurus, Agent Spider, while also having a General Krieg on the team, this artifact plus General Krieg basically gives your strongest attacking ally their ultimates instantly. It basically gives it to them instantly, because General Krieg gives them, if you max General Krieg's ability, it gives them 75% of their max ability charge when an ally dies. And then this ability gives them 15% to all allies of their max age, of their ability charge. So that means if both of these things trigger at the same time, you are giving one of your characters on your team instant ultimate. So It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Situational in some cases, but works a lot better than people give it credit for. So I'm going to put that right there in A. Now we got the two big boys, S and FS. Now in S category, I think I'm going to go with... have to go with this one right here. I was going to put it in A, but it works really, really good on Mark, Blusu Mark, that is. And works good on Battle Beast as well. It also gives the leader tag, which plays really well with a lot of characters in the game. So you can make some unique teams with that ability being able to be applied to someone, because you could put this on like a Viltrumite Nolan, and now he has the leader tag, so now him and Conquest work well together. You could put this on, you know, somebody like that to make play well with Conquest. There's a few other characters that I think need leaders on their teams to play at their best. And then mostly important, it gives shielding, and the shielding is what? Apply the shield of 30% equal to the current HP of the wielder for 8 seconds, every 20 seconds. And the reason why that's so good on Blusu Mark is every time he's given a shield, he gets a damage boost. So that works really, really well on Blusu Mark. So that artifact, and it works good on Battle Beast as well, but that artifact I think is designed for Blusu Mark to perform at his peak, because it boosts his defense every time he gets a shield. So let's throw that boy into the first S tier artifact. Now we're going to get to some other artifacts that I think people really gas up, but are still pretty good. Ragnar Claw. Ragnar Claw is really, really good. Now, I was upset. I was very upset with the Ragnar Claw. I was very, very upset with it because I thought it was going to be finally the Viltrumite counter we wanted, but it was not. And what it was just basically a version of the GDA cloaking device, just changed. Increases the additional damage equal to 15% of the wielder's current HP. Because it is based off of an HP and not a damage output, I think it hurts this. I think it makes it that this is only usable for certain characters, such as Thrag, such as Space Racer, Tech Jacket, Conquest. It has to be on a character that has outrageous HP, or who is always high on health. And the reason why I say those 4 characters is Conquest and Thrag just have crazy amount of health, so it works for them really well. Tech Jacket heals herself very good and constantly moves around, so it's hard to actually lower her health. And Space Racer moves around just as much as she does, maybe more, and gives himself a lot of defensive boost, so his health does not drop as quickly. So this artifact is good for those 4 characters. It's a pretty simple artifact. This can be, the cooldown is very short, which makes it better. So yes, it's a good artifact. It's definitely not the best artifact in the game or anything like that. It is one of the best though, and that is why it's going in S tier. My thing here did not add a new image. Hello? There. What the hell was 23? Why is it adding 24 but not a 23? Ragnar Claw, there we go. There we go. Ragnar Claw. We got a few left. We do got a few left. Okay. After Ragnar Claw, we are going to hop over to... What are we missing? I think Martian Spear. But I think Martian Spear could be S plus. But I'm going to say A. I'm going to say S. I'm going to say it's an S. I'm going to call it there. They should add a Conquest note as an artifact. Right? I kind of want to put this in SS because this is a really slept on artifact and it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. You put this on someone like a Drag, S plus. I know. You think it's bad, Sloppy? I feel like it's not. I don't think it's bad to put an escalate. Because okay, you gotta understand here. Once every 7 seconds, which isn't that long, it damages a random enemy that is in melee range for 110% of the hero's attack. Of the hero's attack. Now it doesn't say max attack; it says attack. So that's the only problem, which is what I say with this one. If you have this artifact on someone like Thrag, as you see, I have it on Mark, someone that's constantly in melee range but isn't getting directly targeted. Mark does that a lot because he dashes behind the people. Tech Jacket is usually surprisingly in melee range without being a melee character. Thrag, obviously he's always in the mix. Conquest, always in the mix. Who else you can put this on? Damien Darkblood. This works very well on Damien Darkblood if you have a high built Damien Darkblood. So yeah, I will definitely say those characters it works for. But that reasoning why I'm gonna put it in S is because it doesn't go based off of if it went based off of 100% of their max HP as their max damage, this would mean my Thrag would do 400,000 damage every 7 seconds. That would be insane. But I still think this is a very good artifact. I think it's a very good artifact. I think it's very slept on though. Let's get that one in here though. Marching Spear. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 artifacts. 11 artifacts left. We still have 11 artifacts, so we're gonna have to start moving some of these actually around. I'm gonna move this down here, and maybe some of these might have to get moved down today. Is any of these movable? Would I move any of these? I could move this one. I could move that one. Would I want to move Ragnar? I really don't. I think Ragnar Claw is S. I think it is. Unbiasedly, I think it is. Would I say Ragnar Claw is better? This is 7 second Dragon Claw, 3 seconds, so yes. I would say it's better. Ragnar Claw is only 15%, this is 100%, so. Not sure. Not sure between these two. I would have to like do number crunching on these two. Do I move these down? Not sure. Not sure if I move these down. I'm actually not sure. I'll just leave it like this for right now because we only have 11 left. Okay, we're gonna go with next up in S tier is going to be this one right here. I think this one is very slept on. I actually think this one, in my opinion, is somewhat better than Burger My Burger, but a lot of people sleep on this one. This is the curve. I don't know how the hell you say this. Curvolin flower. This is the Wolf's Bane. I don't know what name they gave it, but this is the Wolf's Bane that from the Antarctic that Robot went and got when Monster Girl got her ass absolutely whipped by Battle Beast. This is that flower that he went and got for her. What it does is it removes all negative when an ally drops below 25% HP, It removes all negative effects on that on all allies, healing all allies over time for 25% equal of the current hero's max HP of current hero's HP for 10 seconds. And I think that's what it is the current HP, and it's 40 seconds. I think that's what hurts it compared to Burger My Burger, but I think it's pretty good. If it wasn't for the fact that it's current HP, if it would have just been HP, I think it would have been better than Burger My Burger. But because it's current, I think it does go in S. Then we got GDA Earpiece. I don't know how I forgot this one. Creates every 10 seconds creates an explosion on a random target that deals AoE damage equal to 110% of the target's attack power and leaves a damage over time effect of 60% on the enemy attack. Leave 60% of that hero's attack power as to the target over 10 seconds. So this is just a double damage dealer every 10 seconds. It's pretty good. It works on characters that can stay alive pretty long. I would say it's probably not better than Ragnarok and Marching Spear, so I'm probably going to move it down below those two. I kind of just missed it. I thought I put it in already. But it is a very good artifact. A lot of people do love this one. I don't think it's as good as people make it seem, but it is good. I would say it is good enough to be in S. I just don't think it's better than these. Maybe something like that. And then we got one more for this category. And that is probably going to be it's probably going to be Healing Gel, if I'm being totally honest. I think I'm gonna put Healing Gel in S. Healing Gel is really good. Healing Gel has been nerfed though quite a lot. Whenever a hero applies a buff to an ally, it is also applied with a healing effect over time, equal to 120% of their defense stat. Now, this is really good on Adam Eve, Seance Dog, General Krieg, even people like Volcanica. It works on. It works on who else? Works on Shakesmith. It works on a lot of people. But the problem is, it has been nerfed to now their defense. And if we come over to those characters, like even Blue Suit Mark, I think it triggers on Blue Suit Mark. When he gives the attack boost, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it does. But let's just go based off of General Krieg when he gives the shield thing at the beginning of the battle. Giving the shielding at the beginning of the battle, it's going to give them the healing effect for 96k. I would say this artifact would be really good on someone like Armored Adam Eve. If you put Kobe, get out my room. Get out. If you put this on someone like Armored Adam Eve, I think it would be pretty good, because Armored Adam Eve is a defender, so her defense is usually going to be pretty good. Also, it's going to give them a heal every time she applies her melee shield, but she only applies the melee shield once per beginning of the battle, so that's the main issue. You would want to give it to someone like her, the regular Adam Eve, General Krieg, Shakesmith. You know, Volcanica's not bad. Someone that applies the buff. I think it also works very well on Cecil. But yeah, anybody that applies the buff. But I don't think it's as good and as broken as it used to be. So for that reasoning, I am going to put it in number 1 in S. Number 1 in S tier is nothing to scoff at. Number 1 in S means you're basically on the verge of S tier plus. And then now everything else that I'm going to name is going to be S tier. Now, number 1 in the S tier category, S tier plus category, my bad. But it's strictly for GTA Ops, which is very surprising that it's going to be up here. Maybe we switch it. Yes, you know what? Let's do that. I feel much more comfortable doing that. I feel a lot better doing that. Let's switch it. Let's make GTA Healing Gel S plus, and let's make Golden Apple S. Because Golden Apple is something that's only useful in GTA Ops. But it's very useful in GTA Ops. The Golden Apple, upon having on a character, basically gives you 8% extra resources. Now that doesn't sound that good. What I'm going to tell you that does is, let's say I get to wave 55 a lot at level 1. At level 1, if I get to wave 55 on one of the event missions, this artifact is going to jump me to wave 58 or possibly even wave 60 at level 1. At level 10, if I get to wave 60, it's going to jump me to wave 66 or wave 67. So it can jump me anywhere from, at level 1, it can jump me from anywhere from 3 waves to 5 waves. And at level 10, it can jump me anywhere from 5 waves to 7 waves. I mean, from anywhere from 5 waves to 7 waves, yes. So it's not insane as people will say. But if you do event missions, you know that getting a 60, especially in like the event mission live right now for the World Beyond event, you know damn well getting a 60 versus a 50 is a big deal because you get more refresh tokens, you get more currency. So it's a big deal, very big deal, especially for the refresh tokens. So this artifact is one of the best artifacts when it comes to GTA Ops. So for that reason, I definitely think it should have been. I was going to put it in S plus, but I think it makes more sense to rearrange it because at least the Healing Gel artifact is something that could be used in GTA Ops and in battling. So I think that's fair. Number 2 in S plus, I think is going to be Burger Mart Trash Bag or GTA Cloaking Device. I'm gonna say GTA Cloaking Device. Yeah, I'm gonna say GTA Cloaking Device and then Burger Mart Trash Bag. So GTA Cloaking Device, and I added it to the wrong thing. Like a dummy. Like a dummy. Cloaking Device, definitely S tier. We might have to move this down actually. S plus tier. Now we have Burger Mart Trash Bag, and I'll go over them after we add them. I'm just getting them because I remember which ones I'm putting. Burger Mart Trash Bag. Okay, we got them in there. So you should know what this is. These artifacts have been around a long time. GTA Cloaking Device. It basically makes your character go invisible for 4 seconds, increases their critical damage by 40% for 6 seconds, and the cloaking device is triggered every 16 seconds. Everybody knows this as the Universa artifact. Everybody puts this on their Universa. You can put this on Thrag, you can put this on other characters, but it is one of the best artifacts for Universa. It also works really well on someone like Space Racer and Tech Jacket. Now, the Burger Mart Trash Bag. I've always, and said this plenty of times, you put this on Conquest. But there is a new artifact, well not new, but there's an artifact that I realized is much better on Conquest, especially for arena situations. But this artifact right here works very well on any defender that has insane defense. So Allen, even Thrag, even though he's not a defender, anybody that has crazy defensive stats, this artifact works very well for them. This is basically a better version of the Scourge Virus. Excuse me. When a critical hit is received, the wielder will throw a Bergamot trash bag in a random direction near enemies. Usually throws it in the middle of the battlefield, catching all enemies that it can catch. 25%. It will give a random status effect of 25% for 6 seconds to the people that are hit. So the random status effect could be something like burn, it could be something like bleed, it could be something like bleed, burn, some type of like poison effect, something like that. Any of the debuffs that are in the game. And then what it also does is it deals a damage over time, like the Scourge Virus does, equal to 500% of the wielder's defense for 6 seconds. And this can be triggered every 13 seconds. It's a massive amount of damage this artifact does, especially if you have it on someone like my Allen, who has 79,000 defense, or someone like my Conquest, who has 123,000 defense, or my Thrag, who has 104,000 defense, or my General Krieg, who has 96,000 defense. If you put it on someone that just has super high defense, even my Shapesmith, who has 128,000 defense, anyone that has a high defense, oopsie poopsie, didn't do that. Anyone that just has a super high amount of defense, it's really good on them because it is 500% of their, and I believe it says max defense. I believe it is max defense, right? Equal to the wielder's defense. So it doesn't say max defense, but it says defense. So that's pretty good. That's really good. So once again, I've used this artifact. It's a very good artifact. Then after that, I'm probably gonna say I'm torn between Bergamot Burger and this one. I really like this artifact. And this artifact is really good right now situation in the game. So I'm gonna put Bergamot Burger below it. And I know a lot of people probably gonna disagree with that decision. But it's my opinion. I'm gonna put, oh my god, I didn't even put Damien Darkblood's Notebook. That's gonna be an S tier. That's gonna definitely be an S tier. Where is it? Where the hell is Bergamot Burger? There we go. Bergamot Burger. Let me actually move these down, because the Damien Darkblood Notebook, I don't know how I forgot that one. That one's definitely going to be an S tier for sure. That one counters half of the game's population. Like, that one's definitely got to be an S tier, if not S plus. I'll put it in S because not many people are using humans as of now, thanks to all the Viltrumites in the game. So I will, oh my god, I keep touching the wrong thing. I will do this like that. As you know, everybody should know this. Damien Darkblood Notebook decreases humans' defenses by 20%. Very good artifact. And then, like I said, everybody also will know Bergamot Burger. It's one of the most sought after artifacts in the game. Everyone always goes crazy for this artifact. When a hero drops below 20 HP, it heals all allies for 35%. It heals all allies by 35% and increases their attack power by 12% for 5 seconds. Cooldown 50 seconds. Not bad. Like I said, I think Lotus Flower is actually could be better, but simply because of the fact that this one does all allies for 35%. What is Lotus Flower again? It's 25%, so it's a 10% boost. And then this the Bergamot Burger is just flat 35% healing. Healing, I'm guessing the 35% of the heals is based off of their HP. This one is based off of the wielder's current HP. So that's the big difference. Um and then we got Oxygen Helmet left. We got Neuralink chip left. We got Cans Lock left. And I think that's it. So I also gotta make space for one of those. So we're gonna have to move this down even more. I think all of those are S plus. Not gonna lie. Oxygen helmet. People might disagree with me on oxygen helmet, so maybe I don't put oxygen helmet up there, but I think it is better than these, in my opinion. Maybe not better than these two, but definitely better than those two. I'll put oxygen helmet in between there. It gets a little harder up here because you start missing them. You start missing ones. But oxygen helmet, in my opinion, definitely one of the best artifacts in the game. I actually prefer oxygen helmet. I prefer oxygen helmet over both of these, to be honest. So I'm gonna put them over them because that's what I think. I know people might disagree with that, but I definitely think oxygen helmet is better than these two artifacts here. I for sure think they are. Now, you could disagree with me, but the reason why I say that is if I put oxygen helmet on my General Krieg, he's gonna stay alive a lot longer than I put Bergamot Burger on him. So with that being said, I would rather have oxygen helmet. Then we're gonna go this one right here. Now, I probably will put this below oxygen helmet, but what I love about this artifact here is all allies gain 20% energy boost of their defense and a 20% boost while the wielder is using this artifact on the battlefield. In addition, whenever an ally is confused, the neural disruptor will disable that confusion, removing it and applying it to the person that tried to give them that confusion, giving them a stun for 5 seconds. And this triggers this can happen every 12 seconds. Now that is awesome because that's a hard counter to Shapesmith and Thrag. So for that reasoning, I would definitely say it's a very good artifact. It is definitely S tier plus because of the fact that it's a counter to Thrag and Shapesmith, who are two of the top tier characters in the game right now. So with that being said, it is definitely S tier. I think it is probably in the top 3 S tier artifacts. And then the last 2 artifacts here are going to be Kanslock and Neuralink Chip. And I think Kanslock would be number 1 or Neuralink Chip. I'm not sure. Neuralink Chip is so good though. Kanslock on Shapesmith, number 1. I think it's the best artifact in the game for Shapesmith. Neuralink Chip, I think, is the best artifact for whichever high character you have, whether it be Thrag or Conquest. So for the fact that everybody is using a Thrag and Conquest, I don't know. I'm debating between those two. Shapesmith being your shield, your healing. I'm gonna say Kanslock number 1 and Neuralink number 2. Kobe, get out of my room. Give the boy his respect. Make him a little bit bigger. Make him a little bit bigger. Make him stand tall against everybody else, since he is number 1. But the reason why I would put him at number 1, let me go over it. Neuralink Chip first. Neuralink chip gives 9% of the stats to the team. And this is very, very good. It's one of the main reasons why I think I have so much success in Arena, because a lot of people don't do this. But if you put Neuralink chip on your Conquest or your Thrag, it is going to give your entire team a massive HP boost, defense boost, attack boost. So it's really, really good. Really, 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 really good. But cans lock on Shapesmith. When a hero reaches 1 HP, so basically when they die, they receive an immunity shield that gives them 40% attack boost and this is for 6 seconds, that they are immune to all damage and get that 40% attack boost. In addition, it also increases their main ability by 75%, basically giving them their ability instantly. And the reason why that's so important is Shapesmith, and like I said, it's the best artifact for Shapesmith in my opinion, because Shapesmith, when he uses his ability, he applies 25% of his base damage to each grabbed enemy, increasing, and then for each grabbed ally, he increases their life leech by 76%. Plus, not to add that when Shapesmith uses this ability, he gets healed by a good amount because he starts to absorb damage. When he absorbs that damage, he heals a good amount of that damage back. So this basically allows Shapesmith to go from 1 HP all the way back up to maybe 40 to 50% HP. It also works pretty good on Conquest. Works pretty well on Conquest because of Conquest's totem. If you have Conquest's totem, it does work pretty well on him. It also does work pretty well on Blue Suit Mark if you have his totem. But it also does work really well on OG Mark, especially if you have his totem. But what I will say is I think that artifact is the best artifact in the game for Shapesmith. And with all that said and done, I'm pretty sure that's all 34 artifacts. I think that's all 34 artifacts in the game. Let me just do one quick count to make sure we're good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. All 34 artifacts ranked and listed for you guys to know. Now, you might say, there's too many artifacts in S tier plus. I'm telling you, if you ask anybody else, I think those are some of the best artifacts. Could you move some of them down? Can you rearrange some of them? Probably. But as a top 300 player in the world, I would say I think I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. And I'm top 700 in singular character leaderboard, but overall counts, I'm top 300 in the world. So I think I know a little bit what I'm talking about. But if this video helped you guys in any way learn anything about the game and its artifacts, please hit me a follow and a subscribe and a like down below. Also, make sure to hit that hype button. It's a new feature on YouTube. The new hype button is a very important feature on YouTube. It's the way you get your videos out to the algorithm, and it's the way to help me improve the channel and get the channel to grow and get more content, get more eyes on the content. So I really appreciate it if you guys do that. Thank you guys for all the love and support. This was a long one, like I said, so I hope you guys grabbed your drinks and your popcorn and you sat in and watched it. And for those of you that skipped all the way to this point and you're just looking at it now, shame on you. Shame on you. But I love you guys. Thank you all so much for the love and support. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.